If you are thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience actually living with it for a few weeks, the good parts, the annoying parts, and the kind of home it makes sense for. This model is for someone who wants the floors to stay reasonably clean without thinking about it every day. I am talking about the normal mix of dust, crumbs, and hair that builds up in a week. It is not for deep carpet cleaning the way a full-size vacuum can do, and it is not for someone who wants the robot to map every room in detail. What it does well is simple, repeatable cleaning that you can start from your phone or by voice, then forget about. Physically, it looks like what you expect a Roomba to look like. Round, low to the ground, and it slides under a lot of furniture that I usually ignore when I am vacuuming by hand. In my place, it fit under my couch and most of my cabinets, and it got under the edges of the bed where dust collects. It feels solid enough when you pick it up. The top has the main buttons, but in real life I almost never use them because I ended up using the app. In the box I had the robot, the charging dock, an extra filter, and the paperwork. Setup was simple. I plugged the dock in, set it against a wall like the instructions show, and let the robot charge. The main thing to know is there is no remote. If you want control beyond pressing the button on top, you are using the iRobot Home app. The app part was straightforward for me. I connected it to my home wireless internet and it was ready. Day to day, I used the app for two things: starting a cleaning when I was busy and setting a schedule so it would run automatically. I also checked the history occasionally just to see how often it actually ran and whether it finished. The app is not complicated. It is more like tap clean or pick a time, and that is it. I did not feel like I had to babysit it in the app. One thing I appreciated is that it works well if you already use voice control at home. I tested it with Alexa and Google Assistant. When my hands were full, I could tell it to start cleaning and it would go. That sounds small, but it changes how often I actually use it. If it takes effort, I will put it off. If I can just say it out loud, I run it more. Now let me talk about how it cleans in a real apartment. I have hard floors with a couple of rugs, including one rug that likes to trap grit near the entryway. The Roomba did fine moving from hard floor to rug. It did not get stuck on the transitions in my place. It is not silent, but it is the normal robot vacuum sound. I can take a call in another room while it runs, but I would not want it cleaning right next to me while I am recording audio. On hard floors, it picked up daily stuff well. Little bits of dirt by the door, crumbs near the kitchen, and hair in the bathroom. The edge brush helped along baseboards, but I still noticed that tight corners are not perfect because it is round. It will sweep along edges, but it cannot physically reach into a sharp corner the way a normal vacuum nozzle can. I still had to hit corners once in a while myself. On rugs, it did a decent job for maintenance. It made my rugs look better day to day, especially with surface dust and hair. If I let a rug go for too long and it was really dirty, the robot helped, but it did not replace a full vacuum session. What I liked is that running it more often kept things from building up. There is a dirt detection feature that is supposed to spend more time where it senses more mess. I noticed this most on that entry rug. When there was visible grit, the robot seemed to pass over the area more than once, like it realized that spot needed extra attention. I cannot see the sensor working, obviously, but I could see the behavior change in messy spots compared to clean ones, and the result was that the worst areas improved without me having to do anything. Navigation is the usual random style cleaning, not a neat back and forth pattern. In practice, it still covered my rooms over time, but you have to accept that it may look a little chaotic while it is working. It bumps into furniture sometimes. It is not violent, but it is not delicate either. I found it was more gentle when I kept the floor clear and gave it space. If I left a phone cable hanging down, it would try to eat it. That is not unique to this model. I just learned to do a quick cable check before I hit start. The cliff sensors worked in my testing. I ran it near a step and it stopped and turned away. That is something I do not want to think about, so I am glad it behaved normally there. Battery life in my place was enough for a full run. The company says up to about 90 minutes, and that feels in the right ballpark depending on your floors. In my testing, it could handle my main areas on a single charge. When it got low, it went back to the dock. The docking behavior was mostly reliable, but placement matters. If the dock is in a tight spot, it can take a couple tries to line up. Once I moved the dock to a more open wall, it docked more consistently. Maintenance is not hard, but it is not hands-off. I had to empty the bin regularly, especially when it was picking up hair. The filter needs cleaning and occasional replacement. The brushes need checking. I did get some hair wrap, but it was manageable. If you have pets, you are still doing routine upkeep. The difference is you are maintaining the robot so it can do the daily cleaning, instead of doing the daily cleaning yourself. I also want to mention something that matters in real use. Because it is app-based, if your wireless internet is unstable, you might get frustrated when you want to start a cleaning quickly. When my connection was fine, it was easy. When my wireless internet had a hiccup, the app felt less responsive. The robot can still be started with the button on top, but scheduling and remote starts depend on a stable connection. So after a few weeks, here is where I land. I kept it because it made my floors noticeably cleaner with very little effort from me. It is the kind of robot that works best when you run it often, keep the floor clear, and accept that it is doing steady maintenance, not magic. The strengths are simple setup, reliable everyday pickup on hard floors, decent rug maintenance, and convenient control through the app and voice. The limitations are corner cleaning, the random navigation style, and the fact that you still need to empty and clean it regularly. If you have been on the fence about a robot vacuum and you mainly want to stay ahead of dust, crumbs, and hair, this one did that for me without much drama. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with your questions or tell me what robot vacuum you are using right now. Thank you for watching.